want to accuse nobody of being guilty of anything before, they tried, before, the honorable judge. But this nigga right here looks like he put about 15 bodies in the ground with his bare hands. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit UpTopBeauty.com. Today's looky would be our animal print turban. Ooh. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Richard Pryor, prior convictions and other life sentences. The official autobiography.
Sid Caesar eased me into the movies. I met him at Chateau Marmont Hotel in Hollywood. He interviewed me about being in the Busy Body, a loopy cops and gangster picture he was about to start filming.
Growing up watching your show of shows, I was intimidated meeting Caesar, and also by having to keep up with his quick mind. I can do German, he said. What about you? I stared at him and said to myself, God damn it, Sid Caesar talking to me? But apparently I said something good. Outside the hotel, my agent said, you're going to play a detective.
The movie zipped by before I learned what I was supposed to do. On the set, I met fellow comics Dom DeLuise, Jan Murray, and Godfrey Cambridge. But otherwise, I tiptoed around the camera lights and shit while asking myself, what the F am I doing here? As for the acting, I faked it. Tried a little of this and a little of that. Some Steve McQueen, some Humphrey Bogart. Bless my confused heart. But it was hard because I didn't have my own thing to do.
As soon as I finished, I went on a nightclub tour of the Midwest and dropped in on my family in Peoria in October. It was my first trip back home since leaving 5 years earlier. Nothing had changed. The places and people were all the same. This will always be your home, baby, my grandmother said. Y'all, it ain't nothing like a grandmother's love. Let me say this before I move further. I miss my grandmothers so much that it hurts. You hear me, guys? I mean, it hurts. My maternal grandmother, Gilda the Great. My paternal grandmother, Annie. Man, I've never experienced love in my life like the love I received from my two grandmothers. And that's what makes me special. By April 1967, Maxine was 9 months pregnant and due almost any time. She wanted a commitment from me, something I had no intention on giving her. I gambled. I stayed out all night. I could barely commit to being me. How could I give her more? But the more I said no, the more adamant she became. The only reason we stayed together was because neither of us had anywhere else to go. Keep this in your mind. Male, female, I don't know, pansexual, homosexual, straight, gay, lions, tigers, and or bears. Listen, if a mother hunchy does not want you, and they've either said it to you or they've shown you in so many ways, get turned off immediately. In my mind, if you don't want me, then I don't want you. And that has gotten me over. Because a lot of times they be like, wait a minute, You don't like me no more? No, bitch. Didn't you stop liking me 2 months ago? One night, unable to stand the pressure any longer, I walked outside and stared up at the moon. It was like a big orange balloon, a big orange titty talking to me. Hey, Rich, what's going on? Why don't you come and get me? There was just something about it. The air, the vibes, the moon, the way it beckoned. I said, damn, this moon got something to do with me. So I went with it. I jumped in my car and followed the moon. And who mammy is this? Is this Rain Mammy? Ooh, ugh. Ooh, that Rain. Ooh, girl. Ooh. Oh, God bless you, Rain. I drove as if I were holding onto a rope. And when I finally let go, I was in Tijuana, Mexico. For the next few days, I rested, drank, and partied with several pretty little whores who showered me with loving attention and for a while had me forgetting Maxine. The guards at the border weren't as nice. So he down there in Tijuana, okay, he tired, okay? He hot, he tired, okay? Because I guess he done got all the, enjoyments and pleasures that Tijuana has to offer. He in his car and he's on his way back home, okay? The peoples stopped him at the border because that's what they do. Border Patrol, they stop you at the border. So anyway, when they pulled him over, child, they found a little bit of pot. A little teeny tiny bit, girl, of the pot, right? He said it wasn't even enough to roll a joint. What? It wasn't even enough to roll a joint? Brother, I can't even imagine because, the joints back then is so far different than a blunt, okay? Like a joint is like, do I have anything that's the size of a joint? The niggas don't even know. A joint is probably this thin. Can you see it? Do like with the makeup artist too. Can you see it? This thin, maybe. So you telling me he didn't even have enough to roll this much up and you got motherfuckers around here smoking blunts like this thick? Oh, no, let's do it like the makeup artist. This thick? Hold on. And I didn't see you better. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me see. You got people around here smoking blunts like this long, this thick, okay? And you messing with the Richard Pryor over something that was barely enough to fill up this? Child, I guess everybody got to do their job. There wasn't enough to roll a joint, but they busted me anyway. So there I was, a black man going to jail for drugs as he tries crossing the U.S. border. It didn't look good for Richard. No, it didn't. I was effing terrified for my life, They threw me in a cell by myself, which was something of a relief. I lay down on the top bunk. Then they brought in another guy, another black man. Unlike me, however, this dude was big and scary. And I don't want to accuse nobody of being guilty of anything before, they tried before, the honorable judge. But this nigga right here looked like he put about 15 bodies in the ground with his bare hands. Without saying a word to me, without even acknowledging me, he stripped off all his clothes and walked around butt naked. He reminded me of an angry bull, brooding, snorting, grinding. I feared what was going to happen when he caught sight of my skinny ass. I thought, Christ, I'm going to have to knock this mother unchy out. God, please give me the strength, or else I'm probably going to have to get, screwed. Eventually, he lay down on the bottom bunk and didn't bother me. Thank you, G. I don't know if I told y'all, but you know how I always talk about how Regina Hall had stole my boyfriend back in the day when we was teenagers? That dude is home now because he went to jail. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. So he went to jail. He's home now. And so me and him was having a conversation, just a regular conversation, nothing about, oh, Nay, when I'm going to see you again, can you let me, blah, blah, blah. He didn't found him, old dumb bitch, while he was in jail, okay, and he came home to her. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know you, lady, like that. But anyway, he said to me, Nay, you too soft. You wouldn't make it in jail. I said, I know that. I'm not priming myself to go to no goddamn jail, but if I did have to go to jail, I'm going to find the biggest, blackest lesbian to protect my ass. My tender, sweet chicken nugget ass. That's what I'm going to do. And hopefully I can make that bitch laugh. Okay, and then she going to want to keep me around and protect me. But if I have to go to jail, I'm telling y'all what I'm going to do. Okay, the biggest, blackest orneriest bitch in there. I'm gonna sit next to her at the same table. That's what I'm gonna do. Eventually he lay down on the bottom bunk and didn't bother me. And I didn't say shiz to the man either. Honest, I didn't even get off that top bunk. Not a peep from Rich. Many hours later, a deputy looked in the cell and asked with genuine surprise, "What the hell are you doing here?" Richard Pryor said, "What you mean, what am I doing here? I got arrested." The guy was like, "But you can bond yourself out. Why haven't you bonded yourself out?" "How, man? How am I bond myself out?" This ninja was so out of it and, not aware that he didn't realize that he had $7,500 in his pocket. I'd forgotten that there was $7,500 in my pocket. "You can get your ass out of here," he continued. "Well, let me get out of here," I said. After posting bail, I got in my car and drove home and found out my daughter Elizabeth, oh, that's not Rain, baby, mother. The white girl that's doing all that boogity sugar, that's not right. That is Elizabeth, mammy, okay, had been born. Congratulations, Rich, but you didn't care, did you? Well, to be honest, not that much. You know my attitude about kids and fatherhood was something stupid, something selfish, something that put all of them after my own momentary concerns. As she should have, Maxine resented me to the point where I was unable to take it anymore. I had a hard time thinking about anything but my own needs. And no matter how much she screamed or fought with me, I simply wasn't going to change. It's nothing to be proud of. It's just the way it was. Profound. I applaud his honesty. Finally, the day came when it was just all out war between us. And I said, "You know what? I could leave here." Maxine didn't argue. I remember that day. It was clear. I felt like I could see all the way to tomorrow and the next day, I don't remember how the summer of 1967 was for the rest of the country, but my ass landed at the Sunset Tower Motel in Hollywood, home for the hodgepodge of Hollywood dreamers, schemers, and hustlers. For about $100 a month, I not only got a place to sleep, but also an interesting social life. For starters, the girl I dated lived there. Brandy worked as a phone operator, but moonlighted as a dancer at the Whiskey A Go-Go. Another dancer friend of hers, Carol, also lived in the tower. The first time Brandy took me to Carol's apartment, I walked in and saw another guy in there. I said the first thing that came to mind, "Let's take off all our clothes and have an orgy." Oh, he is out there. How was I supposed to know the other guy was Carl's brother, Paul Mooney, a large black man who loved to talk and talk and talk? Would become a comedian, my lifelong friend, collaborator, comic foil, alter ego, antagonist, and so on. But as soon as Mooney heard me suggest having a sex party, he exploded. He threw my ass out in the hall. "Get the fuck out of here, nigga," he said as the door closed behind me. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share this Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves, have a good one. Protect yourself, protect your family, get vaccinated.